Hey, Dan here from Ben and Friends. I'm one of the friends, and I'm going to give you my Dislyte review after playing the app game for basically a lot of hours. I kind of binged the crap out of it over the past 5 days. So I have got a lot to tell you, both pros and cons about this app game. So first up, if you do not know what this game is, this is an RPG battler made by Lilith Games, the same people that brought you AFK Arena, and, well, basically, in short, it is Summoner's War mixed with the AFK Arena art style. During the entire 5 days that I have played this, I have reached an account level of 49. I have beat the main story 12-8. I've beat the main story on hard. I've done a lot of the trials, done a lot of stuff, so you could say I have played a good chunk of this game. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on into the pros for Dislyte. So first up, it's fun. It's a good game. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun style if you like Summoner's War or Epic 7, those kind of battle games, those RPG battlers where you create a team, you put them against the opponents, you let your team do their thing, and you can either let them auto do it or you can go ahead and do it yourself. But a lot of the time, you are working to make an efficient team so that you can auto farm stuff, so you can get better gear, so that you can auto farm faster, and so you can do the PvP, of course. Continuing on with the pros, it does have a pity system with its summons. This is good because one of my cons later, the summon rates are pretty crappy. Basically, it's a 90% rare rate, then 9% for epics, which is a nat 4, and 1% for a nat 5. Now, those are pretty crappy rates if you ask me. However, the game does have a pity system, so at least 1 in every 20 will be an epic or a purple, and 1 in every 120 will be a legendary or a nat 5 or a yellow, whatever you want to call it. They have a relic system, which is basically like Summoner's War runes or Epic 7 gear. And the nice thing about these, it is gold-based where you upgrade it, it costs money, you upgrade it, it's got a chance, it will fail. That happens. However, it's also got a pity system on it. So when you're upgrading it, you can get frustrated. You can spend a lot of gold, but at least you know when you hit a certain number of upgrade attempts, it will guarantee the next upgrade. So it's at least like, you know what? There's a good chance I'm going to lose a lot of gold, but there's also a chance that I know it will hit the upgrade eventually. Another thing about the relic system that I really like is that, unlike the other games, when you have a substat improve during the upgrade, it's always a static amount. So instead of, if you hadn't noticed, I'm going to be comparing it to Summoner's War and Epic 7 a lot. So in those games, sometimes you can upgrade a rune and it has a chance of doing 3 or 6 speed. Like, you could get either. However, in Dislyte, it's going to be a flat +2. Or +3, or +4. Whatever rarity it is, it's going to be a flat amount. The only RNG is whether or not the game decides to give you that specific substat. In my opinion, I really like this difference because it can get very frustrating when you play those other games and you upgrade a bunch, you roll a bunch into your speed, and somehow you got minimum rolls on all of them, and it's kind of crap. But at least in this one, you know you're going to get a solid amount. You just have to hope it does roll into the stats you want. Now, on my pro list, since it is like these two other games, it's very easy to translate your knowledge from all these other games into Dislyte. So if you know how different like dungeons work and how mechanics work and how team building works and different moves and different debuffs and buffs and all of that kind of stuff, your knowledge does translate pretty well into this game. The game's got some great music. It's got a lot of interesting characters. A lot of the characters have voice acting in English, and I think in other languages. I only listen to the English, so hey, there's that. But I also really like the unique art style that they've got. It's very nice, it's very unique, and it's not the weird chibi stuff that you tend to see in a lot of, I'm going to call them, discount games, because that's kind of what they are, and that's always what was nice about Summoner's War and Epic 7. They had unique art, and this one also has unique art, and I love it. Something great about this game, a lot of incredibly strong units are both farmable and free to play. For example, there's a character named Gabrielle, and you create her through the fusion mechanic in the game. She is the strongest support character in the game, and it's rather easy to get her, and I really like that you are able to get these incredibly strong ones without having to rely on RNG when you're summoning. That being said, there are some really strong ones that you can get from RNG, but hey, that's the game. Otherwise you wouldn't be wanting to summon anyway. There's a lot of different quest rewards for different types of progression, a lot of different quest trees. You get a lot of rewards. It's pretty nice. It also is great at directing you of where to go in the game. The characters also have in-game suggestions on how to gear them. You can see what other people are using. If you're upgrading a certain stat, you can turn it on so it's like, oh, 70% of players put this in, like, used this set of gear, or did the resonance system through this stat. The resonance system is when you get dupes and you can give them extra stats. The game starts you off pretty great. The very first character that you summon, Mona, she is a fantastic farmer. She's really good, very strong throughout the game. And the two beginner legendaries, Wukong and Li Ling, they are fantastic. They're both very, very strong. In my opinion, if you plan on re-rolling, there's not too much reason to, but if you do plan on re-rolling, I would go for Li Ling. He is much stronger of the two, but I am biased. I pulled him myself, and he has just basically been carrying me for a large portion of the game, and I very much recommend picking it up. Another pro of this game is that you can tell that the developers looked into these other successful games and both integrated what worked as well as what the audience really, or what the community really wanted from the game, such as those pity systems, such as the different stats and stuff like that. It's very nice. I think that it's a really fun game. Those are all my pros. Let's jump into the cons. Starting up, I mentioned it earlier, the low summon rate. The low summon rate could be really, really frustrating, especially when you look in chat and you see someone that just pulled 2 nat 5s, and you're over here and you're like, I just did 3 10 pulls and I got all blues throughout all of it. It sucks. It can be really frustrating. It's a very stamina-starving game, so if you don't want to spend money, you can kind of drain through your stamina, and then you're kind of done till the next day or till later in the day when you can get more stamina back. They do give you some free stamina refills and different ways that you can get them, so that is kind of nice, but I did find myself a little stamina starved, and if you're using your crystals for summons instead of stamina refills, yeah, you can guess what's going to happen. The names of the dungeons are very similar and can be a little confusing at first. They're all called miracles, so you've got like the infinite miracle, the cube miracle, the ritual miracle, and the sonic miracle. They feel weird because they kind of don't immediately make you think of certain things. I'm sure once I get the hang of it, it's going to be easier, but it does get a little confusing, and I find myself clicking on one and going, oh, no, that's not the one I wanted. I want this other one. So I have to go back, I got to click it, all that good stuff. There are some abrupt walls in the progression in this game. You will be able to auto-run through a good portion of the story, and then all of a sudden you will hit a big wall. When you hit these big walls, it can be frustrating and it can turn away some people. When Benny hit some of the walls, he hit me up. Luckily, he had me to give him some advice. But the fact that he did have to hit me up made me realize, oh, sometimes you might get lost on what could upgrade you to help get you to the next level in the game. A lot of the time, though, it is the standard stuff. Upgrade your relics, upgrade your characters, all of that good stuff. Next up, it is a very gold-hungry game, so when you're upgrading those relics, it can get expensive fast. Like, I'm looking at my game right now. I've got a 6-star rune. I'm upgrading it from like plus 12 to plus 13, and it costs 50,000 gold. And it can be very frustrating because you fail it. You can drain through a lot of gold very quickly. It can get a little frustrating. Another con, it's a very basic RPG battler. It doesn't stray too far out of the realm of normal. Here's one other pro, I forgot to mention this earlier. There is kind of a DJ, Guitar Hero, Tap Hero style minigame that, it's kind of fun. It's pretty cool. It's something nice to do when you run out of gold and you run out of stamina and you're like, I still want to play some of the game. well, you got this little bonus thing. It's just on the side. It's a fun little mini game. I don't know why I put that pro in the middle of the cons, but hey, I'm going through my list here. I'm trying to keep my thoughts straight, but just moving on to the next one. The game can be very battery draining, so if you are planning on playing it for a long period of time, make sure you've got a charge cable near, or you turn all the graphics on very low. It has a very weird daily reset time, which kind of frustrates me. It's 5 p.m. Pacific. Why it's in the afternoon and not in the morning like most app games, I don't know. And it kind of throws me off because if you're like me and you play a ton of different app games, you kind of have a morning routine where you're playing through, you do all your dailies, you get all your free stuff, and that's it, right? Well, this one kind of throws a wrench in that, but I mean, I guess you can just wait for the next day. That one might be me just being a little nitpicky. So, in conclusion, if you like RPG battlers and you like the unique art style that this game has to offer, you're gonna love this game. Dislyte is going to be your next RPG battler. You are gonna love it. You are going to be like me and you're gonna invest a ton of time in it. If you're like me, you're probably gonna spend some money. But hey, you know what? That's just the way it goes when you really enjoy an app game. That being said, if you're not a fan of the genre, this isn't gonna change your mind. This is the standard RPG battler. It's nothing crazy new to make you go, oh my gosh, I hated Summoner's War and Epic 7, but this has got my attention. No, if you disliked those, you're probably gonna dislike this one too. I will say, if you are willing to spend some money, the beginner packs, like the 99-cent one that you get right out of the gate, all of that stuff, they're very worth it. They give you some good rewards. They give you a bit of good progression in the game. I would say that the starter stuff you could probably spend, I want to say, under $10 and be pretty set for a while. So, being when you're trying to get it. So that brings me to my conclusion. If you like RPG battlers and you like the art style that Dislyte has, this is the game for you. You're going to love it. You're going to invest a lot of time. If you're like me, you also might invest a good little chunk of money. But I am enjoying it a lot. I am going to be playing it a lot. I play Summoner's War and Epic 7 a ton, and so this was a nice breath of fresh air to keep playing the same genre that I like. But you know what? It gives me a break from those two, and sometimes we need that. I really like the different varieties in all the character models, and overall, I would give this game a 4.5 out of 5. It is very fun. It does have some flaws, but hey, doesn't everything? But besides that, try and have fun. Try not to let the bad summon rates get to you, and just enjoy the game. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. And if you enjoyed this review, please be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you liked things, if you didn't like things, if you want me to add something, remove something. If you don't care about daily reset times, let me know. Tell me in the comments down below how I can make these reviews better for you. Also be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, all that good stuff. I'm Dan, and I will catch you guys next time.